Hey guys, this is TCA Gaming. I have another video for you here. Alright, so this one is pretty straightforward. We have a Black Star promo collection. I'm going to show you guys what he's selling. We've got an Arcanine here. Most of this set is in Gem Mint 10, which is really nice. So if you're trying to complete the Black Star promo set, and I know a lot of you have been, you've bidding up on a ton of my Black Star promos. And there are several cards here that I haven't sold in a 10 in a while, so this may be a chance for you to complete that. Here we have both Articunos. We have the corrected and the error version. They are not labeled as so. It was one thing that was just recently started to be designated through PSA. So like this is the error version, that is the corrected version. Nayoyo, or I don't even know how to say it, Chimera. Then we have another Articuno, number 48. I think I just ran out of those in my store. Celebi 50, Cliffa. We have Computer Error. We've got Cool Porygon. A lot of the holos, they're tough and they sell through very quickly. These all have CS25 in the title. Dark Persian, and this is the regular version. Dark Persian isn't as tough as I found. Cool Porygon is just a little bit more scarce. Now this is the error, no HP. The 10 version belongs to Zach, and I doubt he's going to be selling that thing anytime soon. But if he does, I'm hoping that he reaches out to me, and maybe we can work something out. Alright, we have Dragonite WB 10. We've got an EV9. Again, the 10 on this is really, really tough. I've graded 2 total out of over 1,000. Here we have the non-holo Eevee. This is actually Japanese stock. You see it's non-holographic. It's a Junior Rally stamp. It's technically a Japanese promo, but it's printed in English. And much more common in PSA 10, but the card itself is much more scarce. And I would say, you know, last I checked, these were in the $200-300 range. I don't know where they're at now. Got an Electabuzz 10. There, that was the WB. This is number 46. Then we have the Entei Reverse Holo. Pretty tough to get this in a 10. Like I said, the holos in the set, they're not as easy as you might think. Flying Pikachu, I haven't sold one of these in a while, so I imagine that one should do fairly decent. We've got a Hitmontop. This is Holo. This is the non-Pokemon Center version. So this version right here was really common, the Pokemon Center New York, with that the white lettering right there. This version here actually come on a flyer with the Rapidash Scantastic. That's what it was. It was, and they had rubber glue on the backside, so they were really tough. Well, they're not really tough. They're just they're harder to find in a 10 compared to the version that has the Pokemon Center New York, because these just come in a brick. And these are definitely one by one, you know, stuck on to these little flyers with glue back, so they're tougher to get in a 10. I imagine there should be a decent price gap, but there's also this thing where a lot of people have no idea, you know, and they can get the exact same card with an additional, what looks like something more exclusive stamp on it. Usually when you take the stamp off, and that's more scarce, it doesn't do a ton for the value. Alright, moving along. We have an Jigglypuff, Machamp, Magmar, Meryl. Meryl was one that has been kind of tough for me. I have a lot of the Neo. It comes sealed with like this Neo folder type deal. It's like a big baggie. A lot of them have these two lines that go down the middle. I guess from the way the flap was sealed on it, they were stored. I'm not really sure, but they've been pretty tough for me to get in 10. All right, here's the Meowth. This one's always tough. It comes sealed in a little baggie through the Game Boy or whatever. I never actually opened up one of the Game Boys. I just assume it come with the Game Boys. It says GB right there. But they were individually sealed. A lot of them have a crease right here. Almost looks like a little crescent moon. And a lot of times it's tough to see until you open up the sealed card. But once you do, it's like, you know, instant 5. Then we have Mew, wrongly named Lilypad Mew. It's a rock. It's not a lily pad. Every time I see that card, you're probably going to hear me repeat it. Turning into an old man repeating the same stuff over and over again. Here we go. We got the Mew, number 8. Probably one of the easiest to sell cards, has a lot of velocity. A lot of people remember this from League. And then you have this one right here, the Holo, which has way more demand, much harder to grade in a 10. Therefore, it has a really high price. This one has a very nice swirl. I attempted to make an offer on this one, but I just kind of let it go. I know how much these go for. I think the last one I saw on PWCC, it was over $900 when I looked. I thought that they were in the $600-700 range, but maybe they went up. It would surprise me, just because everything else has kind of went up. But then again, these are fairly tough to grade, so who knows where it'll go. I mean, this one is in really nice shape too. Many times when you see this card, it's a low quality 10, but it's a good quality 10. Got the Cyburn Mewtwo. Got the WB Mewtwo. Got Misdreavus. Here we've got the Moltres. One is corrected and one is the error. Corrected, error. The error version is the US theatrical release, and then the corrected version, we know of every version I've seen for Europe and Australia has always been corrected. And the reason we knew that there was a difference, because for like where they were released, is because they come sealed. And on the sealed card, it actually shows like UK or Australia has like this Game Boy folded up little type, I don't know, like a poster type thing within the sealed baggie. And these are the Australian versions are pretty tough, but you can't tell the difference like between the Australian and the UK card once it's been opened up. It's only within the seal, and you have that insert. And then the US theatrical version doesn't have, you know, any of that stuff. The UK version just says UK, is similar to the US version. The Australian version, that one's kind of tough to find. Here we've got a Pichu, PSA 10. Again, this is I haven't had very good luck, and I had a lot of Pichus that were really nice, pretty fresh. Got the Snap artwork Pikachu. Got WB Pikachu, Bumblebee Pikachu. Got Ivy Pikachu. This one you can get first edition error. It's not this collection. Here we have a Pokemon Center gem at 10. This one and the Lucky Stadium were both very rare. Well, again, scarce. They're not really that rare. There's a lot of them out there. But the Lucky Stadium usually edges this one out in price because of the Charizard and the Pikachu. The Pikachu riding the Charizard on the card, and I'll show you that one at the end. Got a Pokemon Tower. Much cheaper trainer. We have the Psyduck. Here we have Rapidash, and Rapidash, same thing as the Ho-Oh. See, it's got Pokemon Center New York there, and it does not have it on this one. This is the one that come on the Scantastic with the Ho-Oh. Sabrina Zabra, pretty tough Black Star promo to find. I've only found a few stacks of these when I've been buying out collections or old leagues. Very rarely do I run into, you know, people wanting to sell a big stack of these. Whereas a lot of these other cards, it's fairly common. Like usually people have Scissor. Scyther comes in packs of 25. Smeargle, that's another card you can find a lot of. Snorlax comes in packs of 25, but has a lot of velocity in sales. People really like buying this card. I mean, look at it. It's a Snorlax, and has an Eevee sleeping there. The illustrator Craig Turvey. I remember I had bought a collection off of someone, and they reached out to me a year or so later, like, hey, I found some cards, I want to send them to you. And in the mail, they had included a page of 9 of these Snorlax, and all 9 were signed by Craig Turvey. They had reached out to him, and you know, way back when, and he had signed all 9 of them, and I ended up grading all of them. They got really low grades, but I did end up getting them graded. I gave a few away, and I believe I have one somewhere still sitting. Here we've got a Suicune, the number 53 forever. That one's has definitely seen an uptick. It used to be super cheap. Surfing Pikachu, much more common than the Flying Pikachu. Very common card with Team Rocket's Meow. Same with the Togepi. Unknown Jade, this one is only a 9. Yeah, the 10 is kind of tough to find on this card. The Unknown Jade is similar to the Sabrina Zabra, but I actually think this one's probably a little bit more scarce. Venusaur, tough to get. It come in like a little sealed packet through Nintendo Power. It was like a blue packet, and then it was just stuck into a Nintendo Power magazine. A lot of them have, you know, damaged. If they were stuck in there wrong, the corner got, you know, pushed into the edge of the little flap, and it had glue on it. You have these print lines that are, I mean, this is a really tough card to grade. I've never graded a 10. I did buy one. Like when I bought one, I made some people mad in the community apparently because of how much I technically paid about $10,000 in trade and cash value. And I don't think I've seen one come up. Well, I do remember one coming up for sale. I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. I don't know if there's any up for sale now at all. But it's a really tough card to get in a 10. Next up, we have the Zapdos, and again, we have the corrected and the error. Here's the corrected, there's the error. And then the last 2 cards I want to show you guys, I actually bought pre-auction. I made an offer on his Mewtwo number 12. This is, the illustrator on this one is Christopher Rush, same guy who did the Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering. I remember I had a lot of his artist beta proofs, and I sold them like a dummy. But I sold them a while back because I'd got them off a friend, Rock Carolina. He had reached out to him and talked with, I believe, his wife or something, and got a lot of stuff off of him, including a lot of these Mewtwo, and I picked up a lot of stuff from Rock Carolina. But anyways, the Mewtwo that I have in my personal collection is actually similar to that Eevee. If you guys remember, I said it had Japanese stock. This one right here. And PSA can't tell the difference on the Mewtwo because the Mewtwo doesn't come holo. Eevee, it's easy because this card's supposed to be holo. So they actually designate the Junior Stamp Rally for the Eevee. But those actually come in a pair. You get an Eevee and a Mewtwo. They don't give a designation for the Mewtwo because they can't tell the difference for whatever reason. But if you're familiar with Pokemon cards, it's Japanese stock and English stock. They're worlds apart. Like on the back here, I can tell you just by looking at it, you know, that's going to be a Japanese stock. It has a certain type of gloss to it. You can almost see it there when it runs over the corners. And an English stock just doesn't have that. Like this is definitely the English card. It has a darker yellow border. I believe on the English side back then, all the borders were double stamped, so that's why the borders sometimes can vary in color and in depth, and much more so than the rest of the card, because if they weren't double stamped, then they're going to be light. If they were double stamped, but it was like two dark stamps, then it's going to be really, I mean, there's all kinds of things that kind of went on there. But this is definitely the US Nintendo Power version, and the version that I had in my PSA 10 set was actually the Junior Rally stamp. In fact, I had a few of them, because every time I bought them, they'd always end up coming in as the Junior Rally stamp instead of the English Mewtwo Black Star promo, because a lot of people couldn't tell. And you know, like I said, it is understandable. I understand why PSA won't make the designation, but I would think at this point that they would they would have some kind of technology where they'd be able to tell themselves, especially with the way that there's difference in the translucence or the transparency, I guess, of the cards. No, translucency is a word. So transparent is where it's like, you know, completely clear or whatever. Translucent is where you can make light can come through, but it can't come all the way through. Japanese cards allow more light than the English counterparts. But anyways, I'm not going to round that too much. I did buy this one personally. I think I bought it for $350, which was close. I think the last sale was $340, so I offered $350 because I knew that this was one that I was looking for. And then we had the Lucky Stadium. This one's kind of always on my buy list. I really like this card. It's got a Pichu and a Pikachu riding a Charizard on the Lucky Stadium. Someone please correct me if I am incorrect in my saying this, but I believe this was not printed on the Japanese side. So I think it is an English exclusive. And it does have another thing going for it. It's pretty scarce. It's not like you can find these very easily compared to most of the other promos. So usually this is kind of like the most expensive non-graded card from Wizards of the Coast. The Wizards of the Coast promos, but in a 10 it's not the most expensive, like the Eevee, the Venusaur. Those cards, they definitely bring a higher price. Birthday Pikachu. In fact, I didn't see the Birthday Pikachu in the collection. Now that I'm mentioning that up, those would bring a higher price than this. But I offered him $1,250. The last sale that I saw on 130 Point was right at $1,500. So I offered him $1,250, and he took that as well. So both of these are getting added to my personal collection, and then the rest of them are going up for sale. Now he did send two other things. We've got advanced action cards, and then we have this Sword Shield 3-pack blister. These are cheap enough to where I can only assume that he wanted them open up on the channel, so we're going to open them up, and if I'm wrong there, then I guess I'll be buying these two. Alright, so let's see what we have here, and then we'll open up the Sword Shield packs last. So we have a Metatite. Looks like we have an evolution card, Nincada, Ninjast through Shedninja. Then we have there's a checklist card. That'd be kind of cool. Ooh, what is this? So we have some kind of like translucent clear card. Chimeco. That's kind of cool. So I think I've opened up these once or twice before, but I had a bunch of them and I ended up selling them through Troll and Toad. So that's kind of cool. Thank you for letting me open up one of these on the channel. And then we also have this Sword Shield base set. Can you believe, you know, we're getting ready to exit Sword Shield, you know, almost into another generation again. See if we can pull anything cool. So there is a code card for somebody. Got a Morpeko. And then we have a Garchomp coin. When Sword and Shield base set come out, I believe I was still busting packs at that point. Oh, white code card. I think that means something. I can't remember for this set or not. Metal Saucer. Got a Joltik. Goldeen. Ooh, we got us a V, a Stone Journer V. You know, it's kind of crazy to think about the buy list prices, how much they've changed over the years for like Troll and Toad. For those of you who don't know, Troll and Toad, that's who I advertise for back here. TCA5. If you go on their site and you go to buy something, just throw in the code TCA5 at the end, and if you bought anything actually from Troll and Toad, not the merchants, then it should take up to 5% off. But anyways, they've been buying cards for the longest time. A lot of people sell them, including myself, bulk stuff. The bulk prices have dropped quite a bit, but a lot of these, you know, EX Vs. Well, I'm not sure on the Vs. I think they buy V Maxes. But like old style EXs, GX cards, they pay $1. At some points, they paid up to $2.50 for that kind of stuff. I remember Mega EXs they were paying $5 for at one point. I think the Vs though, those are the ones that haven't been stuck on there for whatever reason. Maybe it's because there's just so many of them. Oh, we got another one, a Zamazenta V. We went 2 for 2. We still have one more pack to go, and this is a full art. Nice. Can we go 3 for 3? What are the odds of that? Code card. Alright, last pack. Hyper Potion, Clobopus. Ooh, Poltergeist. Alright, well, thank you very much, Michael, for sending your collection here. Thank you for selling me these two for my personal collection, and then this extra stuff to be opened up on the channel. And if you didn't actually send it to be opened up on the channel, then we'll add it to your invoice. Then I have to pay you. Alright, thanks guys.